it springtime yet? This winter is really dragging me down, isn't it? We all just want to be outside doing fun things like riding around on our bicycles, right? In Canada it's so cold still right now. We have so much snow, but it could be worse. We could live on the planet Neptune where it goes down to minus 350 degrees Fahrenheit.
We're Canadian. We don't have Fahrenheit here. It's Celsius.
Thanks, Aydyn. We don't have Fahrenheit here. I don't know the conversion. I think it's the same thing. It's really cold though, right?
Damn cold.
Yeah, we would die if we lived there. So Uncle Gary, get out there and shovel your walk. You have no excuse. We don't live on Neptune. The Amazon delivery guys are fed up from heaving their packages over a snowbank to get to you. So there's no excuses. Now, if your primary mode of transportation is on the two-wheel kind, for bicycles, here at Yantha Cycle, we got you covered. We have everything from beginners to intermediates to uppermediates to leftermediates to downhill to uphill to backyard to front yard. I don't know. I'm sure they have a front yard bike, right? They got the e-bikes for heavyset people. They got everything here, and there's over 17 years of experience, hands-on experience to look after all of your bicycle needs. I'm Wade Barris. We're here at Yantha Cycle, just outside of Pembroke, Ontario, and this is indie business. Get that shovel, Uncle Gary.
Great, now I'm gonna get hate mail from the planet Neptune once again. They're gonna be all like, oh, at least it's a dry cold. Let's get to the interview, shall we?
We're here at Yantha Cycle. I'm joined today by the owner, Adam Yantha. He's welcomed Aydyn and I into his beautiful shop. As you guys may notice, I'm not using my regular shoes. I was a dumbass and forgot them at home. But Adam has tons of snow out here. He lives on a farm. He says he's going to put Aydyn and I to work after this. So Adam, thanks for joining us. As most people probably do know, Adam was an Olympic tier wrestler. Adam, walk us through kind of that transition of being an athlete to owning your own shop that you opened up in 2008.
Thanks, Wade, firstly, and Aydyn. So I'll try and be as concise as possible. I mimicked my father and mirrored my father with all of his wrestling, and those who know him, he was an Olympic level wrestler in his day. And it was just a natural evolution. I loved the sport. It was a solo sport that allowed me to push myself every day. Whether I was at home training, riding the bicycle for cardio, doing stairs or skipping. You were part of that in the in the high school wrestling a little bit. So you know what it's about, Wade. You have to commit. And basically I committed from a very young age. I'd like to believe somewhere around 7 or 8. All of elementary school, all of high school. In high school I was lucky enough to achieve 5 EOSA championships. That is still a historic thing. Now there's only a 4-year program anyhow, so it will be set in some stone. Mm-hmm. And then, by achieving some of those goals, I was recognized by Brock University and Marty Calder and Richard Duchâtelet, my Olympic level coach. Marty is still, I think, an Olympic coach for wrestling. And I was on the lightweight string. You can tell I was in the lightweight category, still in it probably. And so, I really liked what wrestling did for me. It helped me see my full potential. It also taught me where my cap was and my abilities. And I traveled all over the world with wrestling, many, many countries, Germany, and I could go on with this list, South Africa, so quite far. And then I had a bad injury in one of my last years of wrestling there. I hurt my shoulder, I flew off the mat, and I missed the mat and hit the gym floor. And that really was, I think, an end stop to the game. The physio and doctor was like, if you keep going, it could cause permanent damage if you ever did it again. So that was the stop. And along the while, I had been looking and working at a bike shop. How I got into that bike shop, Liberty Bikes in St. Catharines, the hometown of Brock University, I was only doing it for a part-time job to afford this fancy bicycle. It's tucked up behind me because it's a piece of my life and history, and I'll never sell it, and I keep it polished when I need to. So what that bike was a replacement of my dirt bike that I left behind. Bicycles were not my primary. They were really just used as a means to an end. It's to get A to B, travel around on them. But then when I realized my addiction for dirt bikes was so bad and I'd left it behind, I thought, hey, this thing looks like a dirt bike minus the motor. So I got the job as a mechanic at Liberty Bikes for a short period of time, a couple of years. And then I left that job to come back home. And as I left, Kurt Gwizdick, the owner, still the owner, said, Adam, you're a pretty good bike mechanic. You could consider opening your own shop maybe. And that's where it just came from. I took that to heart, and a couple of good years later, I graduated in 2005, and by 2008, I had my own space, and I was up and running as Yantha Cycle. I had to get a few certificates and things along the way, some insurance and all that jazz, but mostly Yantha Cycle was created for me to continue just enjoying doing what I like to do, a soloist, and pursuing a passion.
Mm-hmm.
And I was riding bikes along the way too, so it was easy to get on the nice new ones.
And here we are.
There we are, yeah.
So Adam, you opened up your shop in 2008. Just kind of lead me up to maybe the days before and what feelings you had, what sort of apprehensiveness you might have had, what sort of stress you would have had in opening up your own shop, saying, doors open, welcome.
Well, I think like anyone who's ever, got ready to present something to anyone, whether it be a painting, you do have to make that big final step. I heard a saying once, you could paint the painting a mile thick with paint, but you have to sign the bottom and release it to the world. I really liked that. And for me, Yantha Cycle, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if it would be successful. They say it takes 3 years in business to cross some threshold, but it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter what you put on the walls. For a bicycle shop, it comes down to the service and the ability to complete the tasks on time, and make it, most importantly, one of my big mottos. People hear me talk a lot in my Facebook Live stuff or whatever, and it's safety. Safety's number one. I became a great mechanic. I broke my back when I was 15 years old on a bicycle, and I woke up in Chio, pretty much half paralyzed, but hey, I survived that. What I learned that day was don't trust a bike mechanic almost. That sounds a little sketchy, but what you get at Yantha Cycle is exactly that. Me caring about what I do every day and every minute. And I take that responsibility very, very highly. So I was nervous. There was a lot of lead up into it. I had a bank loan to make sure I could pay back. So success was, I had to make it happen. But I believe a lot in manifestation, and like you can pick big dreams, big goals. Do that. But if you're not ready to commit fully and you're not ready to grind it away, and like there were many weeks and days and almost years where I felt like I wasn't getting paid for my job. But the good news was I was passionate and I didn't give up on myself. And I pushed very hard. And with that came some success. And 17 years later, if I can count right, I'm still here doing my job that I love. And it just gets easier now because I have become quite the efficient bike mechanic, I believe. And at Yantha Cycle, when you do get here, if you come and see, there is no one else here. Maybe my barn cat or a customer, but it's me. Every day it's me. So my skills were growing exponentially as well. To answer your question quickly, there was a lot of nerves. But I always have been, as an athlete, confident. And I think that's what my major success lies in, the confidence.
Yeah, and you mentioned manifesting. A couple weeks ago, our air fryer broke at home, and I manifested getting a new air fryer. And sure enough, I went into work, and work said, hey, we have an air fryer, and that works. So
that's amazing.
Same thing, right?
Oh, that's awesome.
So Adam, you're born and raised in this area. Talk to me about how the community's embraced Yantha Cycle.
Well, I like to joke around a little bit, Wade, and I know you do too. So I don't know if I was born in this barn or in the Pembroke Regional Hospital, but I'm sure there's a record or two to prove it. The Ottawa Valley, Wade, has embraced Yantha Cycle completely from day one, I believe. Brian Mottershead has passed away recently, but Brian had a bike shop in Pembroke, and I used to visit it. And I always really enjoyed that man for what he was doing. He was the only bike shop in town.
Brian Cycle, right?
Yeah, Brian Cycle. And I've got some of his nice items that he gave me in his will when he passed away, even one of his bike stands. But to not go on about that right now. There's been so many reasons to just keep this passion alive and keep going. One of the big ones for me is my education is based in physical education from Brock University. One of the things there I saw was I had a special angle. I didn't need to go to the school to pass on my education. I realized at the bike shop, I could bring health and wellness to individuals in a collective group or solo. And when someone comes in and says, hey, Adam, I need a bike because of whatever their ailment might have been. Maybe it's just to lose a few pounds. Maybe it's because they have a bad knee and a reconstruction and they need to get it moving again. I knew I was part of something bigger than just a bike shop. I was part of my community. And Yantha Cycle, still to this day, is the only bike shop in Pembroke.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's one of my big things. One of my charity angles is a group that was started by some seniors during COVID, and they needed the bike shop to sign off the legal matters, I think. But I became part of this committee. We started the Bike Bank, and there's names I could shout out to, like Ron Moss and Ish Heinmiller and other people, Bob Peltzer, and the Avcata group. Basically, there's been endless support, and then during that time, we created the Bike Bank, which still exists. I have a website for it. It's thebikebank.com. And what I do there is I take in repurposed or salvaged bikes. I repurpose them. I give them a safety check, and I give them away.
Wow.
During COVID, I gave away over 100 bicycles with that collective group
That's
to
amazing.
the valley. Yeah.
Wow. Actually, I have a charity that I'm trying to work on myself. It's actually called the Baby Bjorn Seagull 5K Marathon.
Okay.
And what it is, hear me out.
I'm-
It's a 5K, and you have one of those baby Bjorns that you put a baby in so they face out, right?
Yeah, they're forward facing. Okay.
But what
is it a live baby or a?
It has nothing to do with babies.
Okay,
There's no
okay,
babies
okay, I'm
involved.
following.
This is where the seagull comes into play.
Ah.
Is that you have to race the 5K, but in order for that 5K to start, is you have to run and grab a seagull. And they're not going to be thrilled about this,
No,
I'll tell you that.
you better have French
Enforce
fries.
it into the baby Bjorn, and the whole time they're going to just peck at
Oh.
you. And that once you get it in the baby Bjorn, that's when the 5K starts.
starts.
Yeah, I don't know who
Is this
who
a
this.
GPS tracked thing, or is it like?
Well, there's going to be officials. You know,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
going to
Oh,
be
okay.
all doing
I
that.
see.
I don't know where the money's going. I don't know how to raise any money. There's going to cost
There's
me a
always
fortune.
a charity
but,
to give it to.
yeah, but stay tuned for the baby Bjorn
I'm excited.
Seagull 5K marathon and charity events coming to a city near you. Now, Adam, what was your experience during running a small business during the COVID-19 pandemic, and what all had to change with your business operations because of that?
Well, the first thing that was successful for me about it was immediately I was looking for that master list released by the Ontario government, and I was considered an essential service. And I believe bicycles are. Many of us e-bikes, we use them to commute. Forget about the e-bikes, just regular bicycles. So yeah, the bicycle is a piece of transportation, and right there, I was very thrilled about that. You know, immediately it's like, oh my goodness, this is going to help. Okay, at least I don't have to close the doors and do this curbside stuff and follow a million other regulations. Sure, we had to buy a big vat of sanitizer and spray this place down, and each bike got wiped down and all that, but that was the first step. It went up really well. Every bike on the floor in the first 6 months was gone. But then the next big problem occurred where the warehouses now were empty. I couldn't even order a bike.
Yeah, I think a lot of people had logistics issues during that time.
I remember at one point, I literally told my dad, I said, here's my Visa card. Go to Walmart, Sports Check, Canadian Tire, and just clear out the tubes and tires. And he goes, really? I said, buy them all. I'm sorry, but like I'm a business. I'm going to take them from the recreationalists. They'll have to come to me to get them. I didn't mark them up. I just needed them because in my business, labor is a big part of it. But if you do not have the tube or tire to install, guess what? You're not making the labor money. So what I did as an entrepreneur is what we should all do. Act quick, act on our toes, be resourceful.
Yeah, learn to adapt.
And if you cannot adapt, you know, you may not survive. So humans are good at adapting.
Yeah. So Adam, tell me about what the future has in store for Yantha Cycle.
Well, there's always something happening here. Any of those who know me, change is just my constant thing. But we're changing with the times. I am, and I'm always able to keep my shop relevant. So I've already had a couple editions of the website, and I'm on a new logo as I moved up to the farm. Yantha Cycle's pretty excited. I'm not moving far. I'm just moving behind me. We can't see it, but there's another building behind me. I used to be into power sports. I was a KTM dealer for 4 years. I've since withdrawn from all that, I found it was just taking away my natural passion for dirt biking, as I mentioned, I love. And when you start to lose the want and drive to go in there and, you know, clean that thing and work on it, that was a identifier right away. I said, okay, I've got to do something here. I got to change. Also during COVID and through COVID, things have changed. Even our senior citizens are comfortable swiping their Visa card, or, well, they don't swipe it, they type it in online and they buy online. So retail sales have changed the face of the cycling industry, or the sales industry. So I've kept my focus on service. I will still have a nice showroom for high-end bicycles. It's going to allow me to focus niche. I don't want to really call it boutique, because nothing I do is boutique. That's for maybe Italy, somewhere
The
like that, or
Italians.
Paris, France. So basically the future of Yantha Cycle is this. I'm going to continue to operate a great sales and service shop, and I'm turning our bike shop barn into a wedding venue. My wife and I have proudly put Valley View Acres on the map. We are now online, and you can book your wedding for 2026 with us. You can come get a virtual tour. All you got to do is give us a ring and come on in like you guys did and check it out. And that's kind of the big future for me. I'm also a farmer. And so by slowing the bike industry down a little bit, for me it'll be nice. My father's getting older, and I'd like to take on farming and spend a little more time in that tractor and out there hanging out with the cows. It's a peaceful, very peaceful, rewarding job most days of the week.
So Adam, last question. The thing that I do here at Indie Business is we sit down, we talk to the owner of the business, profile the business. Then the last part of it is I ask the business owner if I could perform a couple songs in your beautiful place. Is that cool with you?
Oh, totally. Yeah. Can I record it and play it later? No?
Yeah.
legal?
Spotify
I'm going to get my
does things
djembe
for
out.
free on me all the time.
I'm
so-
going to get the djembe out and
Yeah, do
hit
it,
some
yeah.
beats with you. No, I won't
We're gonna
ruin it.
jam.
Yeah, wait,
Here we
for
go.
sure.
Yeah.
Try to bear my soul, I'm out of control. Asshole ass spitting out of rock and roll. I know tonight get to see a beautiful brown eyes. Hard to stay dry when I'm already soaked. Second-rate captain on a ship that won't float, but I tonight set sail for those beautiful eyes. Heaven's far away, afraid of heights. Hell's close to home, fire keeps us warm at night. Tonight, we'll meet wherever you like. We'll find each other side by side. Two hearts collide. No, 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 no. Nothing's gonna stop us from being side by side. Yeah, yeah. Tend to see me through a better light. My bulb's much too dim, not screwed in too tight. You know I'm right. You could light up both our ways tonight. Pack your bags and drive through the night. We'll let the moonlight guide both our ways tonight. That's right. We'll chase that morning sunlight. We'll find each other side by side. Two hearts collide. No, 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 no. Nothing's gonna stop us from seeing us tonight. Yeah, yeah. We could take a long way home. could take the long way home. All those lights are shining. We could take the long way home. On that road we're driving down. We'll find each other side by side. Two hearts collide. No, 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 no. Nothing's gonna stop me from seeing you tonight. Yeah, yeah. To love everybody, to love.
Thanks to Adam Yantha, Yantha Cycle, for agreeing to be part of Indie Business. If you want to see more content just like this, hit that subscribe button. If you want to be featured on an episode of Indie Business, reach out. We'd love to hear from you. I'm Wade Barris. This is Indie Business. And remember, always support the little guys.
It's funny, I was, during that time, deemed an essential worker as well, and I worked at an egg carton place that made egg cartons, and it was like 900 degrees, and it was a real hellhole.
But you know, everybody has chickens these days, and those egg cartons were flying off the shelves, I bet.
I guess
Chickens are the real deal.
I would make them bad on purpose.
I'm glad you have your boots on, though, because I have a chicken coop down there, by the way.
I don't want to work.
30 chickens.
Yeah.
You're going to love it.
Okay. Cool.